I think it was Ahmad Raza who was presenting,
Yes, sir.
if I'm not wrong. You
Yes,
presented completely, right? You completed presenting your...
Yes, sir. There was only conclusion left.
Okay. So you can conclude if you can, if you can share the screen and conclude in a minute, right?
Okay, wait, sir.
And then we can move to paper ID 213. I think it will be presented by Mamta Kumari ma'am. So please be ready with your presentation.
Yes, sir.
So, sir, here's the screenshot of the website that we have created about the hospital management system. And now we can move to the conclusion. The major focus of the system is based on the development of the system for known hospital area. Most of the day-to-day operations of the hospital are now electronic. So management organization for reservation, pharmacy, treatment are also accessible. Laboratory test reports, pre-bookings, pharmacy, and all are on the system. And in the near future, we can integrate this system with the AI and machine learning algorithm. So this would be much more efficient, much more economical, and this would be much more better. With the time, with the help of reinforcement learning, the system will learn and become much more better. And one day we will create a system that will analyze and that will diagnose the diseases on its own, and it will be also streamlined to the IoT device integration, and that would be like we have devices, we have IoT devices like sugar monitoring system and a BP monitoring system, so that would be integrated with the management system, so all will work together and make the room a little smaller for the mistakes. So now that's the references, and that's all from my side. Thank you.
Thank you, Ahmad. Mamta ma'am, please, if you can share the screen and start your presentation. Mamta Kumari ma'am, ID 213.
Yes, sir. Sharing my screen.
Okay.
Ты расширила даже компонент, да? Да я просто взяла такую шутку. Ты вообще сейчас менял. Наверное, купор расширил. Ну, я его изменила заполнение и добавила тень. Больше ничего не делала. А, тени не было. Тени не было.
Is it visible?
Ничего.
It's visible. Please carry on.
Okay. Good afternoon to all. My name is Mamta Kumari. I am a research scholar pursuing first semester means PhD from GH Raisoni Saikheda. And my topic is review on open source IoT and edge compatible devices for health monitoring application. I'm not unable to move further on my next slide.
You can go to the full screen thing. So can you see the options below? Full screen presentation.
You can simply press F5 if it is not working.
Yeah.
Press F5.
Yeah, you can press F5.
I've pressed.
Okay, then manually scroll the slides. If that is the issue.
Yeah, just scroll the slides.
When you click on the slide,
Just click on the slide that you want to present. Yeah.
Like this.
Are you able
Yes.
to see?
Yes.
Okay, sir. Am I visible?
Yes, you are visible.
Yes.
Okay, sir. And these are the index which I'm going to give brief details on this. First is the introduction. That is, there is rapid advancement in IoT, which has revolutionized in the healthcare industry, particularly through the integration of IoT devices in health monitoring applications. Applying this health monitoring applications for the remote monitoring of the patient, enabling healthcare provider to deliver timely intervention and improve patient outcomes. So finally, we are detecting the cyber attacks on IoT-based health monitoring application for the risk of the patient privacy, safety, and the well-being. There are the breaches in the security, that are the cyber attacks, which can result in unauthorized access to the sensitive patient data, manipulation of vital sign, and disruption of the critical medical devices, leading to potentially life-threatening consequences. Therefore, there is a very existing research gap which I have to find further in my project work. These are the literature reviews which I have considered. More about 30 papers I have considered. First is the smart real-time IoT-based system for monitoring health of athletes. In this paper, the researcher have work on the health of the athlete during the various physical activities. They have used this PPG technology, by which they have taken the sample, means they have calculated the blood vessels signals, and they have converted it into the analog signal for further calculation of the for collecting the real health data. And there is one drawback, scalability issue is there. That's why I have used that topic of edge compatible devices. So in this, it is edge compatible devices are able to work on this scalability issues, and these are the problem statement which has been derived from this paper. Second paper I have gone through, that is the comprehensive review on IoT application advancement and future prospect of the healthcare. In this also they have worked this IoT application in many of the aspects, including healthcare, agriculture, home, smart cities, and industry 4.0. In this also there is certain drawbacks, that is that there is a lack of detailed analysis on specific challenges faced. Means they have considered much more sectors on that. So the problem statement defined is there has comprehensive exploration of IoT application across sectors, recognizing the increasing integration of IoT with diverse industries. This is another paper. The whole sum I have calculated, this 4 problem statement while going through all my papers. That is, firstly, the integration of machine learning and IoT technology in health monitoring application has potential to revolutionize the way we manage and monitor health condition. These technology can enable real-time monitoring of vital sign, predictive maintenance of medical devices, and automated management of patient data, leading to improved healthcare outcome and at reduced costs. So the health monitoring application can be vulnerable to cyber attacks, which can be compromise the confidentiality, integrity, and availability of the sensitive health data. After collecting all the data and sharing the personal health information in this application, we can design a privacy concern, that type of say algorithm, putting the privacy and security of the patient health information at risk. So these are the problem statement. So my objective of my topic is to analyze the existing research gap on cyber attack detection and prevention in IoT-based health monitoring application, and further investigating the vulnerabilities of IoT-based health monitoring application and their potential impact on patient privacy, safety, and well-being, and giving importance on the health monitoring application in context to IoT and the cyber security. Third is we have to explore various deep learning techniques, including ML and AI, including CNN, RNN, and endless TM for cyber attack detection in health monitoring, and calculate its effectiveness in terms of accuracy, precision, recall, and event score. And finally, we have to propose a novel approach for cyber attack detection in health monitoring applications, such as combining multiple deep learning technique, incorporating all this information and utilizing a transfer learning. There are many scope and limitations. Means further, what I am implementing, the researcher will focus on the health monitoring application that utilize Internet of Things device, sensor, and network for data collection, transmission, and analysis. The scope will encompass various types of health monitoring applications such as remote patient monitoring, wearable devices, telehealth, and the smart healthcare system. The research will explore the deep learning technique, including CNN, a recurrent neural network, and the long short-term memory network for cyber attack detection and prevention. Means we are going all this implementing these models for calculating the cyber attacks. And further, the research will review and analyze existing literature on cyber attack detection and prevention in IoT-based health monitoring application, including both published research article and relevant technical reports. Finally, we are going to propose a novel approach and solution for cyber attack detection and prevention. Means my PhD topic is cyber attack detection and prevention in health monitoring application, and this topic is one of my first objective, so I am working on that.
Ma'am, you have 2 more minutes. Okay.
Yeah. Can I conclude?
Yeah, sure. If you are able to, then you can please.
These are the models which I am going to implement all the models on this. First is we have to collect all the data sets, and then further we have to move it for the data cleaning, and then data processing. In this means data sets are further move for the training purpose. When the data are trained, then they go for the testing purpose, and after implementing all the models on that, we are using machine learning techniques, and on the real time basis they are going to identify the means which data is normal or spoofing or malware detection. Means for the types of cyber attacks I have to identify on various models. And finally, that characteristic features, that is accuracy, precision, recall, and F1 score should be means gathered this information. And finally, we are going to work means which models can be better further implemented for health monitoring applications. So effective cyber attack detection and prevention mechanism are vital in IoT-based health monitoring application to safeguard the sensitive medical data, and robust measures such as threat intelligence, secure communication protocol, access control, intrusion detection, data encryption, regular auditing, and user awareness training, and essential for protecting the integrity, confidentiality, and availability of the data. So basically more of the time in means machine learning technique, they are using this random forest technique and the decision tree mostly for detecting and mitigating the cyber threats. And I'm also going to implement including much more, means more of the models of ML and AI. Thank you. And these are the references which I have referred.
Thank you, ma'am. Any questions?
No.
Moving on to the next paper ID, we have ICWTNS-2024, paper ID 297. The title of the project will be Integration of Nanotechnology and Deep Learning for Real-Time Monitoring of Environmental Pollutants, and it was being presented by author Dr. Rupali Atul Mahajan.
Что ты так скачешь? Она в одном месте, это слайд я не меняла. Он просто любит показать.
Are you able to see the slides? Ma'am, are you able to see your slides of the presentation?
No, ma'am.
No. Okay. Ma'am, now?
Yeah.
Okay. Ma'am, 1 minute.
Yeah. Ma'am, slide 1. First slide.
Я ее вообще не увидела. Это правильно?
Ma'am, wait.
Она там.
Ma'am, is this correct?
Yeah, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am. Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am, you are.
Okay. Good afternoon, one and all present here. I am Dr. Rupali Mahajan. It is my privilege to present on topic integration of nanotechnology and deep learning for real-time monitoring of environmental pollutant. Next slide, ma'am. Okay. So moving to our next slide, that is agenda. Here I am covering the points like introduction, review of literature, methodology, result and discussion, conclusion and references. So next slide. Next slide here, ma'am, previous slide.
Here.
Introduction, yes. So here I will shed light on groundbreaking development at the intersection of science and technology. The integration of nanotechnology and deep learning for real-time monitoring of environmental pollutants. As all of us know, environmental contamination poses a significant threat to ecosystem, human health, and sustainability of our planet. So traditional monitoring methods are there, but they fall often short in providing timely and accurate insights into the dynamic nature of pollution. However, recent advancement in nanotechnology and deep learning, it offers a reliable solution to this pressing challenge. So first we see what is nanotechnology in short. So it is the science and engineering of materials at the nanoscale and has revolutionized environmental monitoring by enabling the creation of highly sensitive nanosensors, and these sensors equipped with nanomaterials such as graphene and carbon nanotubes. It possesses some unique properties that allow for precise detection of contaminants in various environmental matrices, including air, water, and soil. And when we couple nanotechnology with deep learning, so deep learning, it is a subfield of artificial intelligence, and it provides the computational power needed to analyze the vast amount of data generated by nanosensors in real time. And deep neural network excel at identifying complex patterns and trends, empowering the environmental scientists to distinguish between normal fluctuations and pollution events swiftly. So this integration of nanotechnology and deep learning, so it holds a immense promise for the benefit of environmental monitoring. And by combining the sensitivity of nanotechnology with the analytical power of deep learning, we can achieve the insights into the pollution dynamics. We can enable proactive interventions, and it is useful for the decision making. So throughout this presentation, we will see the synergistic relationship between nanotechnology and deep learning, and to explore its implication for real-time monitoring of environmental pollutants. Also here, I will also discuss the ethical, legal, and social consideration associated with the technology integration. Ma'am, next slide. Here, human-made pollutants, environmental pollutants, and impact on health is given. So, human-made pollutants from the industry, from the burnt coal, energy production, and deforestation. Environmental pollutants like climate change, global warming, heat waves, acid rains, and greenhouse effect. And what is the impact on health is can be lung cancer, can be acute respiratory disorder, can be skin cancer, and can be heart disease also. So it is very dangerous actually. Next slide. So here data set we have used that is Central Pollution Central Board, that is CPCB. In India, it provides a valuable data set called real time air quality data, and it can be used to monitor and analyze the air quality throughout the nation. And the monitoring station covers the urban, suburban, and rural areas of the source of the data. Yeah, it is useful to thoroughly tracking of India's air quality. It is useful in public health, policy making, and also useful also useful to know the state of the air and efficacy of pollution management strategies also. Next slide. Moving towards to next slide. That is the methodology. Uh, Here, the diagram shows the centralized data processing system. It receives the real-time data collected by nanosensors. Previously, nanosensors are given, and the center for gathering data and getting it ready for the analysis. If we see, the next step is data acquisition and sensors. Nanotechnology based sensor forms the system's core, and these sensors are made to record information on pollutants in the environment in real time, particularly matter like PM 2.5, CO2, PM10. Gaseous pollutants, if we see, it includes ozone, nitrogen dioxide, sulfur dioxide, carbon monoxide, and meteorological information like temperature, humidity, wind speed, wind direction. These are just few variables they measure, and with monitoring station dispersed throughout the various regions. The spatial coverage offers a thorough understanding of state of the air in urban, suburban, and rural environment. So after that, next process is data transmission and processing. After collecting the data from the sensors, next process is centralized data processing system. It receives the data collected by the nanosensors and the center for gathering data and getting it ready for the analysis in this system. It guarantees that data from various monitoring stations are synchronized so that there cannot be any anomalies and discrepancies are noted. Next, we have used deep learning model. In the diagram it shows. So in deep learning model, we have used convolutional recurrent and long short memory, that is LSTM neural network models, and these are used for the data processing and interpretation. So these models are able to identify complicated patterns and trends, and it can also handle the vast amount of complex environmental data. They predict pollution events, spot anomalous pollutant levels, and also recognize the changes in the quality of the air. Ma'am, next slide. So how the CNN algorithm step works? There are some steps are given like data gathering, data preparation, and further steps. One by one, we will see it. First is data gathering, that is the preparation of data gathered from the environmental sensors in the real time. Numerous factors are usually included in the data, included like sensor position information, meteorological data, pollutant concentration, that in previous slide I have told PM 2.5, PM10. Then normalize the data to have a mean of 0 and standard deviation of 1 as the pre-processing step. That next step is data preparation. So here we are scaling the data from the data collected from various sensor. We are dividing the data to make three sets from the pre-processed data like training, validation, and testing. So typical division, if we see, it may follows like 70% of training, 15% of testing, and 15% of validation. Next is designing CNN architecture. It describes the CNN layout, So fundamental CNN architecture is composed of several layers. These layers take input the data. They use some filters like kernels, and then they extract the features. Next step is hyperparameter training the models, and training the model utilize the training data set. They train the CNN. They update the weights and biases for forward and backward propagation methods. Loss function is also minimized. Mean squared error is also be taken care. Some of the optimization technique such as Adam and stochastic gradient descent can be used for the training purpose. So step 5 is hyperparameter tuning and validation. It utilizes validation the data set. It confirms the model's functionality. It tries to enhance the performance. It modify the parameters like learning rate, batch size, network design. Next step is assessing the model. So it assesses the model by analyzing the performance of the trained model using the test data set. So for that they include R square, root mean square error, and mean absolute error. Next step is instantaneous inference. It utilizes the trained CNN for real-time inference to consistently forecast the pollution level. Next is ongoing observations. So it updates the forecast and continuously monitor the environmental data in real time, and it runs fresh data through the CNN to estimate the pollution level in real time. Next slide, ma'am. If we see the result and discussion, so outcome of deep learning model are shown in the table in the slide, which compares the performance measure of two architecture. One is CNN, and that is convolutional neural network, and another is LSTM, that is long short term memory. So if we see the with the accuracy of 89.32%, the CNN model is shown at the table's top row. A basic metric called accuracy count. It counts the percentage of instances that are correctly classified with the accuracy of 89.32%. CNN model perform well in categorizing the data, but in addition, CNN model precision is 90.91, and it suggests that false positive rate was low. This is important for the application like fraud detection and medical diagnostic, where false positive can have serious repercussions. A recall rate, if we see, it is 89.98%, which indicate the low number of false negatives. When missing positive instances can be expensive, like in the case of disease detection, high recall is essential. So in this way, the CNN model is resilient in this sense by the F1 score of 92.0%, which shows that the balance between precision and recall. And furthermore, models excellent capacity to identify between positive and negative examples. It is indicated by AUC of 89.22%. CNN models execution time, which was 214 seconds, must be taken into account. Although deep learning models can yield also a remarkable result, a crucial element is computational efficiency. Model takes longer to provide predictions, could not be used in real time or resource constraint applications. Next slide, conclusion. This is the performance metric by the model in CNN and LSTM that I have already explained in the previous slide table. So next slide, that is conclusion. So to solve the mitigate environmental concern has significantly improved with the integration of deep learning and nanotechnology for real-time monitoring of environmental pollutants. This combination of nanotechnology and deep learning It is the state of the art technologies. It provides the thorough and workable way to monitor the pollution of occurrences, and it takes the appropriate actions. There are number of significant advantage of this novel strategy. If we see, first of all, nanotechnology makes it possible to create extremely selective and sensitive sensors that can find even a minute level of toxins in a variety environmental matrices. The accuracy and efficiency of contamination detection and identification are improved by the thorough understanding of data analysis from nanotechnology. Like this, we can say it is the what we can say it is a robust automatic response to contamination issues, and is made possible by deep learning algorithms, and it has the ability to recognize complicated pattern and trends in large data set by using deep learning. Next slide. Next slide, that is references. I have added here 3 references that are more useful for writing the paper. There are various references, around 30 references we have used, but um, I have mentioned only here 3 references. So this is about my topic. Uh, Thank you everyone for patient listening. Sir, any suggestions or any improvements or any questions?
Just one thing I would like to point out here is that you have mentioned accuracy and precision in your result.
Okay.
But I was unable to understand what is the difference between the accuracy and precision, because in deep learning, what happens is we have three parameters to judge whether your model is right or not. That's the first is the testing accuracy, second is validation accuracy, and third is testing accuracy. So I was unable to understand what was the validation accuracy and what was the testing accuracy.
Uh, Sir, accuracy relates to how close a measurement is to the true value, and precision refers to the we can say consistency or reproducibility of the measurement. Um, so here,
No, so the accuracy that you mentioned was the testing accuracy, means the data set
yes,
that you're using for training, right?
yes, sir.
And precision was the validation accuracy, according to me, which is like testing the model, whether it is learning actually or not.
Learning actually not. Yep, exactly.
Yes. So in one of the cases, I think in CNN, you had accuracy of 89.92%, but precision of 90%, right?
Yes, sir.
In that case, the model is not accurate because it is underfitting. There is a problem of underfitting in that. In LSTM, it can be considered because it is 90%, and then it is the precision is less as compared to the testing accuracy. So the testing accuracy has to be always greater than the precision that is the validation accuracy. Only then the model is considered, but not that much less that it develops some kind of overfitting. So you'll have to look into that, because in your CNN model there is some kind of overfitting, not overfitting, underfitting going on.
Underfitting.
So you'll have
Okay,
to
sir.
relook into the model, CNN
Yeah,
model.
yeah, yes. Yeah, I will look into it and I will try to improve it. Thank
Okay,
you so
thank
much
you.
for your
Thank you.
suggestion. Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank Bhavika ma'am, next presentation.
Yes, sir. We have our next paper ID, ICWTNS 2024-285, and the topic is a data-driven exploration of familial risk factors in autism spectrum disorder, traits in toddlers, a correlational analysis, and the authors are Grishma Arya, Maithili Singh, and Abha Bharadwaj. You are requested to please present up with your PPT.
Yeah, good morning, ma'am. I'm Ashison. And I'm Anu Bharadwaj.
we are going to present our topic. Yeah, sure. So our topic heading is the data-driven exploration of familial risk factors and autism spectrum disorder traits in toddlers, a correlation analysis. And we will introduce you as we have research upon autism spectrum disorder, which is a familial risk factors mostly found in toddlers. So what we have done is basically we have done the early age detection in toddlers to emphasize about this disease and to detect this disease at the early stage and to cure it completely from the root. So what we did was we took a data set of toddlers from age 12 to 36 months and we performed some questionnaire of 10 to 20 questions, according to which we recorded their data in the binary form yes or no, and from that we predicted the ASD traits. Along with it, we also considered the familial history and we considered the behavioral patterns of the toddlers to look more into the autism spectrum disorder, if they have this disorder or not. So I begin with my problem statement. ASD detection is an emerging issue, and this research aims to explore the correlation between familial risk factors and autism spectrum disorder traits in toddlers, utilizing a data-driven approach to increase the accuracy rates of ASD detection by previous models. This study utilizes four machine learning models. This study utilizes models such as artificial neural networks, support vector machines, k-nearest neighbors, and logistic regression. So the objective of my research is first investigating the correlation between familial history and autism spectrum disorder using machine learning methods. Second is to examine the impact of ASD on the presence of ASD traits in toddlers aged 12 to 36 months, focusing on factors such as behavior, communication, and social skills. The third one being providing early intervention strategies and intervention planning for individuals at risk or diagnosed with ASD based on family history and ASD traits. Fourth is assessing the family history factors, including using parameters such as accuracy, precision, recall, and F1 score. So basically, my model is based on the 5 stages of methodology. So so the first step I did was collected data based on behavior, communication, social skills, and demographic data. Then I compiled the data in which I compiled all the data I collected regarding the ASD traits of the toddlers. Then the data went to the pre-processing step, in which visualization using pie chart graphs and bar graphs happen. Then I standardized the data to look for any research gap or to look for any null data in it, and then I normalize the data to standardize all the values. Then the data went to the feature selection process, in which I tested the data and I split the data into test and train. I took training data 70% and tested data 30%. Then I tested it. I performed fit transform on the data to scale the data, and then I performed support vector machine model on it. Then I got the accuracy very less. So to increase the accuracy, what I did was I performed dot feature selection library of ML, which helped me to select only those features which are very important, and to reject all the features which are not important, so that I can increase the accuracy. And then I tested the model in logistic regression, ANN and KNN, and I got a very significant increase in the accuracies. And then I selected when I went through the k nearest neighbor model, I selected the value of k from 0 to 20 to see for which value of k I get the maximum accuracy of my ASD data, and I got the value of k is equal to 3, on which I get to know that if I select only the 3 features of ASD which are most prominent, then I will get the maximum accuracy. And then I performed correlation matrices on my set as well, to look for all the independent features that are considered in ASD, and to disregard the features that are dependent on it, to decrease the redundancy and replication. Then you can see that I have here done a comparative analysis between past model accuracies and my model accuracies. So basically, in past models, the support vector machine had a past model accuracy of 91.5%. My model accuracy was 95.11%, and
for logistic regression it was 94.1%, and for my model it was 96.72%, and for k-nearest neighbor it was 92.1%, and for my model it was 95.75%, and for ANN it was in past 93.6%, and for my model it was 97.64%. Then I have done a literature review in which I have explained why my model is better than the previous research models. So I have explained here, like I looked for many research papers, out of which I have listed the 3 research papers which I found the best. So first was Smith-Hale data regarding the ASD. It lacked the consistent accuracy. It had some research gaps and some null values of data. Then Jones also performed the same research, but it lacked specificity in genetic and environmental factors. And then Chen et al. Explored heritability, but lacked comprehensive modeling of genetic interactions. But my model, my model had the accuracy, precision, and it was better than all these 3 models, as it provided addressing of genetic and environmental factors, including the family history as well. I have here done a statistical analysis using the line graph, and then there are the results and findings. So I got to know that when I used 4 models in my data, that is LR, ANN, KNN, and SVM, the artificial neural network showed the highest accuracy of 97.64%, and support vector machine executed an accuracy of 95.11%, which was the lowest in it. And I had performed some cross-validation results, such as the correlation matrices, the exactness, responsiveness, and specificity to increase the robustness of various sets, and also I included the family factors in it, which helped to increase my result and to enhance my accuracy. Then there are some future scopes of my model which I can include to make my model better. The first being the integration of multimodal data, the second being the long-term efficacy assessment, and third being development of user-friendly tools, fourth being personalized intervention strategies, and fifth being the ethical and privacy considerations such as storage, user-sensitive health data, and all. And I've also decided that I have built the ML part of a model, and I will collaborate with the front end where I will build a very user-friendly site to take access the user ID password to increase security. Along with it, I will provide chatbots for mental health support and provide numbers as well, which I have included in my future scope. And one of the most prominent reasons of choosing this topic was I wanted to choose a topic which could provide help to the society as well. So here I have listed the novelties my project is providing to the society. First being the community awareness, as it fosters empathy, reduces misconception about the disorder. Second being the support system, so that we can be an effective support systems for people who are affected and their families are affected by this disease. Third, reducing stigma regarding this disease and providing understanding and acceptance within society. Fourth being the long-term outcomes. Fourth being, just a second. Four being the long-term outcomes, where I will provide where our data can help to provide better quality to people and help to increase participation in society. Fifth being the empowerment, in which we can provide therapies and support networks, enabling them to better navigate the challenges associated with ASD. So here is the conclusion of my project. I got to know that. I got to know that research unveils insight into correlation between familial risk factors and ASD traits in toddlers using machine learning methodologies. And I had scrutinized this data set to eliminate patterns, aiding in early ASD detection and intervention. And the model ANN emerged as the potent tool, demonstrating highest accuracy. And I'm finding underscore values of family history in predicting ASD traits and advocate for integration of machine learning in early intervention strategies. Here I have listed some references which I had mentioned in literature review as well. First, the AOKY lacked the consistent accuracy. The harms, I have mentioned the references which I have looked into, and these are the references which I have used in literature review as well. Thank you, and we appreciate your attention and welcome any questions or feedback.
Miss Mathli, if you can keep your slides shared. I wanted to go into one of the slides.
Yeah.
By the way, thank you for your very precise and on the spot, on time presentation.
Thank you. Thank you so
You
much.
completed in 10 minutes. Yeah, that's good. I want to go to the accuracy slide, please.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So you are saying that you have an artificial neural network which is giving you an accuracy of 97.64%, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So I think that will be the highest. Nobody would have reported this much of accuracy, right?
Yeah.
Yes. So what was the architecture? How many hidden layers and how many neurons you had in each layer?
Yeah. So basically, when I performed the accuracy thing using artificial neural network, I used 64 neurons in the first input layer. Then I added a dropout layer of 0.2% to increase randomness, and in which I deactivated 20% of neurons. And then I in the second layer I used 32 neurons, and it went on to 16, then 8, then 4, then 2. The structure was like this.
Okay, so you have two different outputs. Means the last layer has two neurons, right? Two weights.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And what are the activation functions that you have used?
The activation functions that I used in my model included I had used some mathematical reasoning using the mathematical functions I used like tanh, sigmoid. I majorly use sigmoid in all the dropout layers. In one layer I used tanh, which has the value of -1 to 1, and it helped me to increase the accuracy.
You used activation function in your dropout layer, not in
Yeah.
the hidden layers.
I use
Are you
in
sure
hidden
about it?
layers as well. No, I use in hidden layer as well. I use a sigmoid function.
Okay, so it's the sigmoid function, right?
Yeah.
And when you are talking about the accuracy here of 97.64%, is it the training accuracy or is the validation accuracy?
This is the training accuracy.
Then what is the validation accuracy?
My
Because that's
validation
the actual
accuracy.
accuracy of model.
Yeah. So basically, my training accuracy was around 97.32%, and when I validated it, then it got 97.64%. So there was just a bit of significant increase in it.
But then also it is overfitting.
Yeah, my model showed a bit of overfitting in it. It has an issue of that.
Yeah, so it is not an accurate model then.
I have to like make it more accurate, and I have to make the results more precise.
Yes.
My first focus was just to increase the accuracy, but yeah, I will try to like decrease the overfitting.
So ultimately this model that you have, the NN model that you are talking about, it
Yeah,
actually cannot be deployed at this moment. The novelty that you are talking about can only be
yeah,
achieved when you have the proper model, because there will
yeah,
be more misclassification as compared to classification,
yeah,
and those will be false positive outputs, right?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So this model is not the accurate model. We cannot say that it has the highest accuracy because the model is not accurate.
Yeah, I
So
have to
that
reduce the
statement is
overfitting
wrong.
issues.
Yes. So it is not the model with highest accuracy, because
Yeah,
if it is, then the 97.64% with ANN is the ultimate accuracy. Nothing can be improved above this. So
yeah, true,
ultimately
no, yeah, true.
this model cannot be treated as the highest accuracy model. Okay,
Yes,
so you'll have
yeah,
to remodel it. So
okay,
yeah, that's what I can say. Yeah. Thank you very much.
okay,
Thank you.
thank you.
Sir, would we will be binding up with the session, or we have two paper IDs which were there before, but they are not present at that moment. So I have to again call up them, or we can end up the session.
Ma'am, you can please re-verify if they are here or not. I think Tanuja Saini was there, but I don't know if she is still present or not. Please, if you can re-verify. Thank you.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
So paper ID ICWTNS 2024-173. The title of paper is Data Security in an IoT-based wireless sensor networks, a review of conventional and machine learning-based user authentication schemes and the authors being Tanuja and Dr. Rajpreet Singh. So please, if you are present, you are requested to please present your PPT.
Сидит, интересно. Просто не выключил этот. Пока.
Whether for next one, I guess she is not there.
Yes, sir. So the next paper ID being ICWTNS-2024-195. The title of paper is Performance Evaluation of Foamed Concrete by the Proposed Method of Two-Stage Foam Injection using a Modified Additive. And the authors being Rauan, Duman, Aliya, Serik, Meiram and Tattygul. If they are present, you are requested to please present your PPT and please do the...
Смотрите.
Найти картинку подходящую.
Давайте прям.
Короче,
I guess they are not there.
yes,
Basu
sir.
sir?
Sir, if participants are not there, so please make absent.
Wait.
So
So I think all the paper presenter, they have presented the research paper. So on behalf of ICWTNS Second International Conference 2024, I again welcome to our session chairs, presenters, and participants. So, sir, thank you for your valuable time, and I really appreciate your suggestions which you have given to the authors. Hopefully, they will implement in their research paper, and they will enhance the quality of their research paper and research work also. So, thank you very much, sir. Again,
thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much.
yeah, namaskar.
Thank you everyone for joining in the session, and you all are requested to please join in for the technical session 4, which is scheduled for about 4:30 p.m. And thank you all for joining in with us.
вот отсюда скачай.
I'm good as well. Thank you.
Basically, my camera is not working. That's why I can talk
That's
to
not a
you through
problem.
voice only.
Yeah, no, no problem. No problem. That's fine.
So, what's the time? What's the time in UK right now?
It's 10 a.m. at the moment.
Oh, great, great. Here is 2:30 p.m.
Yeah, I know.
I think Tendra sir are also with us. Sir, namaskar. Tendra sir, namaskar.
नमस्कार सर जी, नमस्कार. मैं यहीं पे हूँ आपके पास ही.
बिल्कुल 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 सर, है ना. फाइनली आप भी ज्वाइन कर गए. आपका भी इन सेमेस्टर का प्रोजेक्ट चल रहा था, बता रहे थे.
जी 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 सर.
हाँ, तो सर अगर आप परमिट कर तो शैल वी स्टार्ट.
सर प्लीज सर स्टार्ट करें सर. बहुत बढ़िया.
बिल्कुल 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 बिल्कुल. भाविका, प्लीज प्रोसीड.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon to all. I, Bhavika Bhatt from India, welcome you all for the technical session 3 of the conference. For the technical session 3, we have our session chairs is Dr. Amlan Basu from the University of Strathclyde, United Kingdom, and Dr. Tajinder Singh Arora from Aligarh Muslim University, Uttar Pradesh, India. Talking about our first session chair, Dr. Amlan Basu is currently a postdoctoral research associate in the Center for Ultrasonic Engineering, University of Strathclyde, under the supervision of Professor James Wenwell. He is working on neuromorphic engineering project funded by Defence Science and Technological Laboratory Ministry of Defence, UK. He has been postdoctoral research associate in Li-Fi Research and Development Center under the supervision of Professor Harold Haas, who is termed as the father of Li-Fi. In Li-Fi Research and the supervision of Professor Harold Haas, who is termed as the father of Li-Fi, he was responsible for developing AI models for Reason 6G project, which is £12 million project funded by Government of UK. Dr. Amlan Basu also held postdoctoral research associate position in the Center for Microsystems and Photonics, from the University of Strathclyde under the supervision of Dr. Michele Zagnoni, where he was responsible for developing AI software for cancer cell analysis, which was funded by a biomedical startup, Screen and 3D. Dr. Basu completed his PhD in AI from University of Strathclyde under the supervision of Professor Lycurgus Petropoulos, Dr. Gaetano D. Katrina, and Professor John J. Sorgen. He completed his MTech and BTech honors from ITM University Gwalior, where his MTech thesis supervisor was genius Sumit Mohanty. Dr. Amlan Basu has patent, copyright, and research papers published in different international conferences and peer-reviewed journals. Talking about our next session chair, we have Dr. Tajinder Singh Arora. Dr. Tajinder Singh Arora is an assistant professor in the Department of Electronics Engineering at Aligarh Muslim University, India. He has 20 plus years of total experience. He has 18 total number of publications in general and a total number of 18 publications in the conferences. His areas of expertise include VLSI design and electronic devices. He is an IEEE senior member, ISVE fellow member, and ISTE fellow member. He is been a receiver of several SCI index journals, organized various faculty development and the short-term training programs, and an international conference. Now I request our session chairs to please proceed with the technical session 3. So please, sir.
Thank you. So, Bhavina, we can start with the first paper, or?
Yes, sir, sure.
Okay, so you'll be the host in this case. So please announce all the participants to make sure that they will finish the paper in time. Means we'll have for their presentation, I guess, 8 to 10 minutes, and rest 5 minutes we'll have a questionnaire. I guess Dr. Basu, it will be fine?
Yes, sir, that will be fine. No problem. Yeah.
Okay, so
and sir, one suggestion from my side. It is only for the presenter who is going to present their research paper. Whenever they will present their research paper, please they have to turn on their video so that we can do the recording of the participants. This is my humble request to all the participants. Please do the name.
Okay, sir.
Thank you, sir. Please proceed.
Bhavina, please call the first paper. Who is the presenter of the first paper?
Yes, sir, sure. For the first one, we have the paper ID ICWTNS-2024-173. The title of the paper is Data Security in IoT-based wireless sensor networks, a review of conventional and machine learning-based user authentication schemes. And the authors are Tanuja Saini and Dr. Rajpreet Singh.
If the participant is not available, then we have to move for the next participant to present the paper.
Okay, sir. So can I ask for the next participant ID?
Yeah, please proceed.
Okay, sir. The next paper ID is ICWTNS 2024-195. The title of the paper is Performance Evaluation of Foamed Concrete by the Proposed Method of Two-Stage Foam Injection using a Modified Editor. And the authors are Rauan Lukpanov, Duman, Aliya, Serik, Meiram, and Tattygul. If the presenters are present, you are requested to please proceed with your PPT. So could I move to the next paper ID?
Yeah, please.
Okay. So the next paper ID is ICWTNS-2024-265, and the title of paper is Cloud Resource Management System, and the authors are Evgenii Gurin, Ekaterina Buzina, and Perl.
Hello everyone. Can you see my screen?
Yeah. Yes. Not yet. Yeah, we can see your screen now. It's here.
Okay, so I will start. Hello
Yes,
everyone.
please.
I am very excited to participate in this conference. My name is Evgenii Gurin and I am a student of ITMO University, and I will be talking about cloud agnostic resource management system for shared environment. Let's start with the problem. I am a member of the Cloud Computing Laboratory at ITMO University, and it is dedicated to the application of cloud technologies, and there are multiple projects for various users that are deployed on laboratory cloud infrastructure. In this case, the laboratory system acts as a provider of cloud services, requiring the allocation of virtualized resources and granting access to them for employees and external users. Resources are also allocated upon request from students. For instance, one of such processes involves creating virtual machines, with the majority of this task being automatable. What is more, there are many closed solutions provided by major suppliers such as Amazon and Microsoft Azure, which are only available within the company's framework. At the same time, we haven't been found any open source solutions offering the ability to configure the delivery system of services and resources in a software environment. In order to address the task of automating resource allocation and providing access to new users, as well as reviewing applications, it was decided to develop a web service called Shipyard. The next thing to be described are the cloud resources of such a system. It consists of virtualized hardware and software resources of the cloud environment. Resources must be separated between processes that are executed on them. These resources can include disk space, computational resources, databases, and other infrastructure software like RabbitMQ or Artifactory software solutions. The next part of the research is task overview. The main tasks within the scope of system planning computing environment includes next items. Scheduling involves the development of sequence for task execution to meet specific criteria, often aiming to minimize the total time required for operations. The next one is resource allocation that pertains to the placement of target resources within a constrained system. The next one is playing with limited resources, entails devising a task execution plan while considering the restrictions imposed by available resources. The next one is placement of resources with nonlinear costs, involves distributing and allocating process when multiple isolated processes run on a single hardware resource. And the last one is load balancing that involves dynamically relocating system resources to support uninterrupted operations. The next topic to discuss is challenges in resource management systems. It includes next topics: multiple process parallelism, and in large systems, multiple processes are executed simultaneously, which can complete for shared hardware resources. The next one is dynamic resource allocation for multiple users, resource synchronization in a cloud system with dynamically changing resource utilization. It is one of the most significant challenges. The next one is power consumption, scalability problem, and data loss. It is about system overloaded with a high volume of operations during peak loads may face a data loss if resources are insufficient in some systems. The next step is task limitations for the system we are developing. Based on the set of tasks for which the system is designed to solve in laboratory conditions, a part was selected that needed to be solved. First of all is storing information about cloud infrastructure resources. The next one is automating resource preparation for use and providing an interface for submission requests and managing access to resources, and processing user requests and prepare resources for use. It was decided that some tasks will be beyond the scope of the system. Load balancing, resource placement, and computational planning. Task planning pertains to system partially, primary within the context of request processing. In order to describe the process of handling requests, it was decided to develop a diagram in BPMN notation. For this purpose, roles, participation in business process, and their responsibilities were identified. First of all, the user, who utilizes cloud infrastructure and requests access to resources. The next one is system, which processes user requests and carries out automated resource processing. And the administrator, who approves user requests and manages restrictions. The next step is interaction process description. As I mentioned, it is designed in BPMN notation and following some steps. First of all, the process is initiated when a user submits an application which then enters the system and stored in database. At this stage, parameters can still be modified. Next, the system breaks down the application into separate parts based on resource types, and then notifies the administrator of the need to review the new application. The administrator then decides whether to approve or reject the application and updates its status. The system divides the resources attached to the application into two groups: resources that require manual allocation and the resources that can be allocated automatically. The resources designated for manual processing are prepared by the administrator, who then assigns their appropriate status. Once all resources are prepared, the system generates a document with instructions and notifies the user of completion. And this is the finished step of this process. In order to describe the resource application, we created the state diagram. The application has been divided to include a description and necessary resources to allocate, status, and user associated with the application. At this stage, the statuses of applications and transitions between them have been determined. First of all is draft status, when the user has just created the application and can change its parameters. The next one is pending, when the application already has specified parameters and it is awaiting for review by the administrator. So the next step is on review, when administrator gets the application and starting reviewing, and the application is awaiting to be accepted or rejected. When it is accepted, the order becomes into status provisioning. That means resources are now allocated and prepared by our system. And the last one is done when the resources have been prepared and user can start using them. The next step of the research is system component design. Upon completion of the analysis of application workflow process, the system was divided into logical groups and components. Primarily, the system facilitates interaction between users and resources and contain modules that realize connection with various components. First group is external APIs. This group combines systems allocated outside the laboratory environment, and it is assumed that users will be able to utilize repositories from GitHub and Docker Hub for deploying their applications. The next group is shipyard system. It consolidates the components of developed solution and includes the following: user interface divided for administrator and user, and access and authorization module. And the last one is resource preparing module that prepares the resources and request processing module. The next group is internal services. This group includes services deployed on the laboratory equipment, including databases, message brokers, and authorization and user management services. The message broker is used for asynchronous processing of background tasks on resource preparation, which are time-consuming, as well as for delivering notifications on state updates to end user. The authentication and authorization service is utilized for managing user access for system login. We choose to use Keycloak for this purpose due to deployment in a laboratory. And the last group is cloud resources. This group contains the resources that will be provided to end user. Prior to implementing the server side of the system, an analysis of entities was conducted and a database schema was created. In order to further develop the system, the capability to specify any parameters for any resources was introduced. This is achieved through the separation of relationship type of a request with the parameters and the parameters values that can be scaled for new resources. On this step, we designed a process for resource provisioning. We use UML notation of sequence diagram and describe this process. Creation of resources within the shipyard system was decided to be implemented using the Jenkins service. It is free and standalone open source server that can be used for pipeline processing. And this pipeline contains multiple steps. First of all, creating a node in Docker to access database commands, then obtaining the administrator password login to create a new database user for management. Then
please wind up. Conclude it.
Okay. The last one is conclusion. To conclude, the outcomes of this research have provided solution architecture for resource management in arbitrary environment. However, the results should be interpreted as one of possible ways how to manipulate independent infrastructure software components, and the limitation of proposed solutions lie in the possibility of software automation of action in provided resources. The future research may include expanding tools, testing on laboratory environment and users, and connect new components for this system. Thank you for your attention.
I have two queries. I'm audible to you?
Can you repeat, please?
Yeah. Where is the list of references?
There are multiple paper references that are mentioned in paper, but not in my presentation.
Okay. And why don't the figure has been mentioned by figure numbers and appropriate captions?
Sorry, I can't understand.
Okay. Any other questions from audience side? Okay, thank you, dear. Now you may disconnect. You may start the presentation. Now next to call कर लीजिए.
Yes, sir. There is an announcement for all the paper presenters that you have to bind up your presentation in a time duration of 10 minutes so that we do not lag up with the time period. Moving on to the next paper ID, we have ICWTNS-2024-201, and the title of the paper is Towards Transparent Democracy, Exploring a Blockchain-Enabled E-Voting System. And the authors are Ajendra Sharma, Vivek Raj, and Damodharan D. So if the presenters are present, you are requested to please proceed with your presentation.
Yes, ma'am. So I'm going to share my screen. Good afternoon, everyone. Yes, my screen is visible to everyone.
Your screen is visible, but not your presentation.
Okay. So my screen is visible.
Yes, it's visible now.
Hello, good afternoon, everyone. My name is I'm Ajendra from Glasgow University. I'm BTech fourth year student, and my topic is toward transparent democracy, exploring a blockchain-enabled e-voting system. And my co-author is Vivek Raj and Damodharan. Now moving to the next slide. That is this is the abstract. As our project is e-voting system which is based on blockchain. So blockchain is a decentralized distributed technology that record transactions across multiple computers in a way that ensures security and transparency and integrity of data exchanged. Due to these functionalities, blockchain is one of the major technology that is a part of our daily life. So some of the examples are financial transactions, smart contracts, supply chain management, and e-voting system. As e-voting system, our project is based on that e-voting system, in which our complete research paper is based on how we do secure voting with the help of it, and how vote is complete, secure, and data is safe. Now moving to the next slide, that is the introduction of
Ajendra,
research. Yes,
Ajendra,
yes,
I'm sorry. Please, if you can put on your video, your camera on, please. But we are unable to see you.
Oh, sorry. Now it is visible. Now it is okay.
Yeah. Please carry on.
Yes. Now it is moving to the introduction slide, in which, as in blockchain, data is stored in the form of blocks, and in which it is immutable, and each value contain a key of the previous block, so it is not going to be changed. And these are the further functionalities of the blockchain, that is the security. And now we're talking about the security of the system. As in blockchain, each data is secured and present in a block, so, and that cannot be going to be changed because it is connected with the previous block, so the data is secured in the system. The next one is the transparency. In e-voting system, which is with the help of blockchain, the data and each and every transaction is traceable in the system with with the help of the contact address that we have. Now moving to the next slide, that is problem in existing approaches, in which we have vulnerability to cyber attacks, and data is secure. Data is stored in databases, are mutable and hackable. There is no transparency between the voter and the electoral system that are present in the existing system. And the next one is the privacy concern. As in the existing models, the data is hackable, mutable, and so easily the data of a candidate can and get by anyone. or by hackers. Then now this is the proposed methodology of our system, in which firstly our voters have to register itself, and then after the voting process, and after that there is a validation to vote someone, and after that with the help the next step is tallying, in which the votes are going to be counted and providing real-time result as well. Then the next one is the security protocols. And in security protocol, understanding local laws and regulations. Every region has their own rules and regulation, and authority in the system must comply with the laws. So the guidelines regarding the system could be maintained and as follows. The next one is researching international standard and the best practices. There are some authorities that provide guidelines to maintain the electoral system of the system. Some of them are ICCPR, that is the International Covenant on Civil Political Rights. And the second one is UDHR and Universal Declaration of the Human Rights. The third one is IFES, International Foundation of the Electoral System, and there are many more. And this slide in which we are a real-time monitoring protocol, and it is one of the major function of it, in which if there is any technical glitch while a voter going to vote to a candidate, then with the help of real-time monitoring with the help of that we are going to monitor as well, and if there is a technical issue then we are going to solve it. That's the next one, infrastructure monitoring. In an infrastructure monitoring that we saw that both capturing nowadays. So with the help of that, we are going to keep on eye in every voting machine that such this happening things not going to happen with any of the voter who are going to vote. Then a decentralized infrastructure, and as we already discussed in blockchain, if we are going to be vote up to someone, then it cannot be changed or deleted, and it is completely permanent and safe and secure. The first one is securing voter privacy. Securing voter privacy, that due to the blockchain network, the identity of a voter is secure and confidential, as the transaction does not show the identity of or detail of an individual. The next one is a confusing network. The confusing network, because in blockchain we use the hash servers, and it is a very complex algorithm to hack. Therefore, the data is going to be secure in it. Now we go to the next slide. That is the advantage of the blockchain. That is based on that is the first one is transparency. As we already discussed, that in blockchain there is a transparency, because we can trace the each and every transaction that is present over the system. And the second one is the security. As we're talking about the security, that is the data that present each transaction that is present over the system is going to be linked to the previous transaction. With the help of it is not going to be mutable. Then reduce fraud, because the data is secure and there's a transparency in the system. Therefore the frauding or therefore the fraud in these cases is going to be reduced, and we are going to conquer the trust of the voters as well. Now this is the this is a screenshot of our project in which we work, and in which we are going to work. And this is the screenshot. This is the step one in which we connect our MetaMask to our website, and this is our wallet, MetaMask wallet, in which we are going to connect with the help of testnet. After connecting it with the testnet, we are going to next slide. The candidate names are going to be shown over the screen as well, and then your account here, you going to your contact address as well. In the next step, we are going to be selected one a candidate, and the vote is given to that candidate. And now we are going to conclude our project, and we have concluded the project. It is going to be with the help of improving the integrity and the security of the electoral process, and implementing blockchain technology in the current system will remove the flaws of current traditional voting system. Now moving to the next, that is the future work. The end-to-end verifiable system. It will add another layer of transparency and security over the system, and will allow a voter to independently and their votes were recorded and counted as intended. The next one is the mobile voting app, and it is the one of the major future work which we are looking for, because with the help of that, anyone going to vote anyone at any time. So it is very helpful. These are the references that with the help of that we are going. that we work on a research paper. And thank you.
Ajendra, what is a confusing network?
Sorry, sir. So in confusing network, there's that they're using hash servers in the system with these are the complex algorithm in which the our data is going to be stored. So it is difficult for a hacker to hack it.
And where you will store all your data?
So in a cloud, we are going to store all the data and in which our network in which we are working. That is a local host.
Local host.
Yes, and in the
How much,
project that we
how much,
work on it.
do you have any idea how much data you require to store?
Sir, I do not have that idea, but I work on it in a project that is work on a not for the voting level, but for the such as we have any voting in a company. Then for that it's going to be very useful as well because there is a transparency in the system that there is not any vote going to be changed.
Ajendra, you are talking about hacking is very difficult in this one. So how much difficult is it? How you are going to rate that? How are you going to win the confidence regarding that?
Because in blockchain that each because in blockchain the data are going to be stored in the form of blocks and each block is connected with each other. So so the current data is going to be stored when the previous one is linked with a key. Therefore it is not going to change if you are going to change it, and the data is immutable with the because of it, because each data is connected with each other in the system.
It is connected with each other, that is fine, but still it is hackable, right?
Yes. So in some cases, but in some cases
No,
that
it is hackable. It is hackable or not hackable?
no, now
That's
at that time it is not hackable. Till now it is not hackable, and in the future we don't know
it is not
what
hackable. You are
happens.
saying that it is not hackable. That's your claim, right?
Right now, how much I study, how much I know.
Well, it's a very big claim, to be honest, if it is not hackable, because you are using servers, you are using different blocks, and you are saying it is not hackable. Ultimately, it is on the you'll be using internet for this, right?
Yes, sir.
So how it is not hackable? You are saying it is not hackable. So it's a very big claim you are making here.
So how much I know that about it, how much I study
Okay.
about the topic that is about data is not
All
data is
right.
immutable. That we do not going
No,
to be change the data that
but
we do in the
I
system.
don't think that the claim that it is not hackable is right.
Sir,
It is
if it is
hackable.
going to be hackable, then the data is not going to be changed at any cost in the system. If
No,
we are going to vote a
that
single person, then
no. What if I destroy the server by getting into the hacking by hacking your system? I cannot delete it. I cannot change it, but I can destroy your server, right?
we work on it as well. And
Yeah, yeah. So be careful about these things that you are when you are saying that it is not hackable or I cannot do anything with your server, right? Because you are making a
yes,
claim here. It is a research claim that you are making, so it goes far. Okay, that's what I wanted to tell you. Yeah. Thank you very much. Nice work.
thank you.
It's very nice work.
Bhavika, call another one.
Yes, sir. Moving on to the next paper ID, we have ICWTNS 2024-211, and the title of the PPT is Optimizing Healthcare Delivery, a comprehensive analysis of hospital management systems and their impact on patient care. And the authors are Ahmad and Dr. Pooja. So you are requested to please present it.
Hello, ma'am. Am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Is the screen visible?
Yes, the screen is visible.
Okay. So, good afternoon all. Welcome to my presentation. I am Ahmad from Galgotias University. So, as you can see on the screen, today's presentation topic is optimizing healthcare delivery, a comprehensive analysis of hospital management system. So now the structure of this presentation would be like the introduction, then we will move to the methodology, and then problem in the current system that hospitals are using right now, and the proposed system that we are proposing, and the result of the website and the system that we have made, and the conclusion and the future trends that can work, and finally references. So the hospital management system includes improving productivity, enhancing management, and enhancing overall experience of the patient, and managing all the stuff in the hospitals, like their lab reports, their diagnostics, appointment scheduling times, and all. So, and in the system, we will have an admin that can supervise all the things, like referrals, physician referrals, and like appointments, like generating slips, like and diagnostics, and all this stuff, and hospital expenses and the medical expenses as well. So the main goal of this project is to digitalize all the hospital stuff, and in each and every step we will use the digitalized system, and we will make the things efficient and economical. Now we'll move to the things like what will this system do and how will it work. And it is one of the most important ingredients of the creating an organization to ensure patient enjoyment and the best possible patient involvement in the healthcare system. The system must be tangible, it must be transparent, and have a good it must have a good touch, like it must not be so complicated, like it should be accessible by everyone. It should not made like the thing that it should be only accessible by some technical person, but it should be accessible, and it should be used, and it can be used by a normal person. So in this system we must have a database and a website or a mobile application as well. So hospital organized process, this can be built in two forms. Firstly, we have to create a database, and then we have to make a configuration in the interface, like you can see in the diagram. Hospital management system, there are certain things that a hospital management system should do: appointments, OPD, IPO, billing and accounting, nursing notes, prescriptions, certificates, report, cloud database, inventory, file manager, and bed status. Now if we talk about the database, we have used the Mongo database, which is actually a document oriented database management system, because in the hospitals and in a medical line, we have mostly documents that we have to manage. So what should be now we are moving to the things which hospital management system should have. So it should have a remote monitoring and telemedicine. So now as we are moving towards a technological age, so we need some remote monitoring and telemedicine. So today's we can find telemedicine and teleconsultation in every field, and in every big hospital. But the problem is in the telemedicine right now, the problem is that it is not well organized, like Practo and like 1mg. We can consult with the doctor medically, but there's no proper record, and there's no proper guidance in this. And one thing more, we should have a barcode medication administration. It is a survey that due to the sloppy handwriting of the doctors, thousands of people are dying because of the wrong medicines. So it would be a very good thing to have a barcode medication administration to ensure the correct drug is given to the proper patient. And one of the most important thing when we talk about the internet and the digital systems, that encryption of the data is very important. Encryption and the user verification is very important because in this thing there's always a problem when we talk about the internet, that there's a mismatch. And if we talk about the healthcare management system, the mismatch of the information and mismatch of the diagnostics could be very dangerous. Because suppose if a person is diagnostic with a cancer and his report is missing, that would be a very disastrous thing, because delay in the treatment would happen because of this. So it's important to do the user verification, and data should be encrypted, because it should be end-to-end encrypted, because without the encryption of the data, there could be a misuse of the patient information. Now, what is the problem in the current system that hospitals are using right now? The current system is taking so much time; it's not efficient right now. And the security unit. Previously, we talked about the security and the encryption. The security unit is missing. I'm not saying that the security units are missing everywhere, but mostly in the current situation, security unit is compromised, and all tasks are completed manually. If not all, mostly the tasks are doing manually, and there is no reporting to the senior management. The level of accuracy in individual, the it is not integrated right now, and the systems are very expensive. They are not economical, so they cannot be used by the small hospitals, the small organizations. And combining technology with artificial intelligence is difficult because of the previous platforms. Now, the proposed system that we are proposing is on your screens. So, so there are there are four compartments here: HR manager, patient, pharmacist, and laboratory assist. So for the patient, there will be a register and login, and view medical programs and buy medicines, make a lab appointment, doctor appointment booking, and this will be also connected to the database, so a person can access the previous diagnostic reports. So and the pharmacist that manage the medicines and delivery of medicines, and laboratory assistant that will assign the report dates and that will manage the bookings of the report and all, and the HR manager that will be admin, manage patient details, generate patient report, and manage doctor details. User management, user general, the general system. The hospital's organized structure is an electronic system that facilitates the systematic performance of the work of the health workers and the assist in managing health data. And the user management, should be efficient, because we can see right now that I am telling by my personal experience that even when we talk about the highest level of hospitals in India, like AIMS and Medanta, we still have some problems with their management system, with their user management system. Recently, I have gone through a patient who was diagnosed with thalassemia when he was born, when he was newly born. So he was admitted to the AIMS hospital. Then the problem arises. He was okay, but after the 3 years of age, the problem actually